Welcome to this episode of Sidebar, a Neopets podcast. I'm Keaton Jadwin, your raging Neopets enthusiast.
And I'm Sarah Barnes, your more casual player.
In this episode, we are covering what's new in Neopia with pet day recaps for Quiggle, Nimmo, and Cow Day, which is... Quiggle is such a fun word to say. We also chat about the Altador Cup now that the press tour has kicked off. We also conclude our Void Within coverage with our Epilogue recap that would leave even the lab ray scientists zapped in disbelief, let me tell you what. And finally, we are sitting down with a good pal of ours, the Shop Wizard Jubjub, for an exclusive interview.
So put on your favorite Altador Cup team's jersey and grab a hot dog because it's time for another episode of Sidebar.
Hey, new Neopia! For the latter half of the month of relaxing, we are celebrating 3 more pet days. We got Quiggle, we got Nimmo, and we got Cow. Sarah, Cuddle, Adopt, Abandoned, Quiggle, Nimmo, and Cow.
Okay, this is very easy for me. I am going to cuddle the Nimmo. I am going to...
You're going to cuddle the Nimmo.
I'm gonna tell you all three, and then I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I'm going to cuddle the Nimmo. I'm going to adopt the Cow. And I'm going to abandon the Quiggle.
Okay, why?
I love cows. Like, IRL and in Neopia, I adore cows so much. They're one of my favorite animals. I love driving and just seeing fields of cows. Like, it brings me so much joy. And so when I came back to Neopets, my very first goal was I wanted to get a brown cow. So I created myself a cow pet and then saved up to buy a brown paintbrush. I do have the Highland cow shaggy outfit for my cow that it is wearing currently. So
you went all in.
I went all in. I'm all in on Team Cow. So the adopt there is obvious. It's the obvious choice because I would love to have a real cow IRL. I feel like for Quiggles and Nemos, Nemos?
Oh, it might be Nimmo. You're right.
Nimmo?
Bad Keaton. I've not looked at the pronunciation.
I'll let you sidebar that really quick and explain my reasoning here is I feel like they're both inspired by frogs. Like, am I right in that they're both, the Quiggle
absolutely.
is the one that I'm kind of like iffy on. The Quiggle has never been my favorite. I feel like just give me a grundo, you know? And I feel like the Nemo is a better stylistic representation for a frog. So, I don't necessarily want to cuddle something that I think is going to be slimy, if I have to cuddle one of the two and abandon the other, we're going to cuddle the Nimmo and we're going to abandon the Quiggle. I apologize to all of the Quiggle fans out there.
You don't have to apologize. It's fine. You can stand by your choice. I am here to let you know that it is Nimmo.
Nimmo.
The lovely British lady says Nimmo on the official Neopets website. So here we go. Learn something new every day. I would probably have to agree with you because I would want to, I would adopt a Quiggle. I would abandon the Nimmo and I would cuddle the cow. Yes.
That's acceptable to me.
Okay, thank you. Now that that's out of the way, moving on. Yes. So for June 13th, we have Quiggle Day. We got origami Quiggle and for the color, and then for the Neopoint outfit, a geode scientist. Feels very, very niche, but okay.
The brain hat is a choice.
She's brainy. For June 15th, we got Nimmo Day. We got an Eventide Nimmo, Gorgina, and we got a Prince Neopoint outfit, very reminiscent of
a certain prince from a certain movie
that we may or not. Yeah, that one. And I had to do a special mention. You know why? On June 18th, we got a pastel chia for what? Pride Month, and she is gorgeous. Look at her.
Do you have one yet? Do you have a pastel chia yet?
I don't, because I really am focused on just collecting the vegetable and the fruit chias. But if I were to get a non-vegetable or fruit chia, she'd be on top of my list. And then finally on June 19th, we got some cow day. We got a snow cow.
It's so cute.
It actually really is really cute. I mean, honestly, any of the snow pets are really cute. If you imagine, like, I'm out in a field, I'm rolling together snow to form a lovely Neopet. Like, it's nice. And the little bell, she has a little bell.
I love the bell. One of my favorite things to do every year is dressing up my Neopets for Christmas. And I definitely want the bell from this release for my cow's Christmas outfit.
That is such a good point. I also really enjoy decorating for the holidays, like the Halloweeny moments, the Advent calendar, Christmassy moments. Yes. And then for Cow Day, we got a Nocturne Night neopoint outfit, which I don't quite understand the reference. Maybe, but she's starry and she's celestial.
She looks cool.
But what we also got on Cow Day, which I do think was pretty epic, were cow alternative milks. We got oat, coconut, and almond in lovely little cartons. Mwah.
I want all of them. I want all of them so bad.
Chef's kiss. That is a 10 out of 10. No notes.
Absolutely.
We love alternative milks.
Yes.
Moving into our Avatar update, crazy. I was like, I'm going to do this Avatar update, and there's going to all of a sudden not be avatars to talk about. Well, we got another 3 avatars since our last episode, Sarah. We got a Fishing Vortex avatar released on June 17th, which is tied to merchandise. So you have to buy the Battle Dome TCG Curse of Maracquia Ye Oldie Fishing Vortex starter deck. Say that 20 times fast.
Yeah.
And then redeem the rare item code that comes with that. On June 18th, we got a Lair Beast avatar. This is a spoiler warning, but it does have something to do with the epilogue of the Void Within plot. And then on June 18th as well, we got a Tower Conqueror avatar, which you play the Fairy Fragments mobile game app, and you specifically need to complete Tower Mode 150 times and then officially claim the prize under your achievements menu. And just for those out there that don't play the Fairy Fragments mobile game, it will typically take you probably 150 days if you play consistently every day to accomplish getting this avatar, roughly with a 30-minute play session every day for 150 days, depending on how many boosters you get and pay for and all of that.
That's a commitment.
It's a huge commitment. New in Neopia also, we have a new archived book collection. Sarah, I've not dove into the archived book collection. It's just not something I'm an Avatar baby through and through. But they just released a second collection called Tales of Neopia Spring. There's 5 books in it.
And you put them on a bookshelf?
You put them on a bookshelf.
Where is the bookshelf? Is the bookshelf on your user lookup?
Yes, it is now under, if you list your secret avatars and your site themes and things of that nature, it is now the last thing that's listed on there. But they are rare. Like the spine of every book says rare. They are meant to be they're meant to be like a long game type of challenge. Case in point, one of the books has been discovered, Growing Gardens with Music, is seemingly given at random while going to watch a concert at Tyrrhenia Plateau at the concert hall. Okay. And it's random. So you could go multiple days. It's now a new daily essentially until you collect that rare book. I don't know. Okay. It's not for me, but I know that people are enjoying it. I'm going to stick to my avatars.
I like the thing that I like about this is a little bit different than the avatars. I like that you can see all of them in one collective spot.
Oh, that is actually a really good call out because the avatars are only really for you to look at, other than the number, which people, if you saw our last episode, some people remember how many avatars they have and sometimes they don't. But you're right. You actually get to display, you also get to customize, you can paint the bookshelf, you can put plushies or plants on it and whatnot. So you're right. There's a customization aspect and display aspect, which we do not have for avatars.
It could be fun too. I really, really love random side events. And so this could be something that is also fun on there, getting people to visit some different spots on the site that they don't usually, trying to get those random events to get the books for the collection. So
that's a good point too. Yep.
Basically what I'm saying is I think I'm going to start doing this.
Hey, okay. So there we go. See, there is a something for everyone on neopets.com/home. Then the last thing in Neopia that I wanted to mention, it's Neopia adjacent. Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite. I might start maybe. But on July 2nd, starting at 8 p.m., players can find the Neopets Aisha sidekick in the Fortnite item shop for about a week until July 9th. Yeah, you have two options. You can, or I don't know if you can buy both and you can just swap between the two. I don't know how sidekicks work in Fortnite. Someone can school me. Please let me know. You can get a blue Aisha or an alien Aisha. It comes with the Noshomatic emote, which is the alien Aisha vending machine, with 3 possible treats that I guess pop out in an animated form: a carrot and pea omelet, a fish neg, or a Neo Cola slushie. And then the emote is unlocked by gaining sidekick points. So I guess kind of like a Tamagotchi, you can get a certain amount of points and level up, and then you have access to this emote. And just because I was curious, current sidekicks in the shop sell for 1,200 to 1,500 V-Bucks, which is roughly $10 to $14 USD.
So it's just something you have to purchase within the game?
Yes.
With real money?
With real money. And it's very I think it's a cosmetic thing. I mean, I think everything in Fortnite's cosmetic because Fortnite's free to play, so they have to make their money somehow. Sure. But it's kind of, what I will say, what's really cool is to see Neopets bridge into something that is definitely a younger generation thing.
Yes. We talk a lot about how you and I knew about Neopets because of the McDonald's toys. I feel like this is like the new updated version of that. You know, obviously they still make McDonald's kids meal toys, but I feel like this is a great way to reach that target demographic because I don't know a single elementary schooler who doesn't play Fortnite. So I think this is a really interesting, but ultimately going to be like effective collaboration.
That's a great point. I couldn't agree more. I do think that this is something that is going to have impact that I cannot foresee because it's not in my circle.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. The news of the week that I am most excited for: the Altador Cup Press Tour kicked off on June 22nd, and we have a few of this year's teams that have already been revealed, as well as an entirely new gaming experience, as well as an entirely new team for this year that I am obsessed with. I'm so excited about. Keaton, can we just talk about the greatness that is the Neopian Central Altador Cup team?
Most definitely we can. Neopia Central has come onto the scene. As of this recording, they've not yet been released in the press tour, but very, very, very excited about it. I'm very excited that we have a new team, and it's one that kind of deserves to have a team.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot. Love their vibe. It's so interesting because when I first looked at their colors, it's very Mystery Island, like the same Mystery Island color plus a rainbow. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I love it so much that I updated my user lookup with the Neopia Central team captain. Yeah, I'm bought in. That's where I'm at.
This is why I'm so excited, because the Altador Cup has been one of my favorite things on the site since I was a kid. And whenever I have come back to Neopets, after a hiatus, it's almost always in the summer, and it's almost always coincided with the Altador Cup. The issue that I've had is I've never felt a strong team alliance. I've never felt like a pull to a particular team. I've been on, Team Fairyland, Moltora. I've been on 4 or 5 different teams, and they're always different. Because I've just never had one that I was super passionate about. But when we got the character reveal for the Neopian Central team, I was gagged. I don't even know anything about these characters yet, and I love them. I'm obsessed with all of them. This is the first time that I've ever felt very excited and very drawn to a specific team, and it feels like fate, honestly. So, your girl, I'm very excited to pledge my allegiance to Team Neopia Central for this and for most likely all future Altador Cups. Thank you.
Okay, I didn't know it was that. What I want to say is I think. Let me go back. I relate to not having a specific pull. I started with Haunted Mansion. I started with Haunted Woods, I think the very first time, and then I have bounced around Lost Desert because I love Lost Desert. I've done Mystery Island because I love Mystery Island. I've done Fairyland. I've done Decardia when it was a new team because I wanted to play on a new team. And this is the first time where I feel I'm very excited to, like, Neopia Central is just like all encompassing of what I enjoy about the site in a way. Nostalgia and otherwise. And I think I'm right there with you that, like, I not only will I be pledging allegiance this year, but I think into the future this will be the team for me. Yeah, it's kind of really cool that they went down this route. I had no idea they were going to introduce a new team.
Yeah. And it's really exciting to get to be with the team from their conception as well, because
Yes.
Decardio is one of the other teams that I joined. Usually I've picked teams based on vibes and been like, which freebies do I want to get this year? Which backgrounds do I want to get this year?
That's fair.
To fit the vibes of my clients. Again, just because I haven't had a really strong pull to any of the teams specifically. But I'm really excited that I get to play with this team in their first year. And I feel so weird being this excited about something that is an online computer game. But man, like, this is
Probably how, like, people that like sports feel.
Yes.
I think so. I think I can relate a little bit, even though this is fake sports. Real sports in my heart. So what is also new this year that is not being fully well received, understandably so, the ranking system is no longer. So, quote unquote, from the event page, feedback regarding how stressful it is to achieve the highest rank, in addition to how much players need to grind in order to achieve the highest rank, it was decided that the ranking system would be omitted. And I, on one hand, completely understand and kind of agree, and then on the other hand, it's want to work for it. Like, it's, I don't know, it's hard. Like, I know that a lot of people aren't kids anymore and they don't have, like, endless summer hours to grind away, but that is something that people look forward to.
Yeah, I think this is the difference between a more casual player like me and then maybe a more obsessive player like you, because as a more casual player, I have before definitely felt the pressure of I'm never going to achieve the highest rank. It's not going to happen for me because I don't have the time to dedicate to something like this. And so when I heard that they weren't going to be doing the ranking system anymore, I was kind of relieved. But at the same time, I can totally see where super fans and people who are, more like you when it comes to the site are kind of upset that something that has been so integral to the Altador Cup as a whole is changing, because change is always hard. And, this is something that a lot of people look forward to. So, I see the split feelings on it. I think that after we get into it and maybe see how the prize pool works, what kind of prize bees we're going to get on the challenge track and that kind of stuff, maybe that'll make up for it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and they're also introducing achievements, and that's a whole other section that may or may not feel like a worthwhile, I don't say replacement, but worthwhile addition. But what I will say about it is that it does make the Altador Cup less competitive and it kind of was like moving into a more personalized experience with, like, you're obtaining these prize points by the achievements, by playing, like, I believe it's uncapped. Like, you can, the more you play, the more points you get, and you can earn and then spend in the prize shop. What's hard is the bracket system, because I'm not a sports person, and so I know that the fact that they're randomizing the brackets will probably cause some frustration with regards to, the first go around, you have two teams fighting off each other, and then the one that wins moves on, and then the other one doesn't have any shot at winning the Altador Cup right off the bat. So is that going to hurt engagement?
No, if they're including the more personalized experience of it, though, of what you were explaining with earning the prize points, to me that sounds a lot like what they did with the Void Within, where you participate as much as you want, you earn as many points as you want, and then you have the option to redeem those points however you want. I wonder if that in itself will be enough of a motivator to, even if your team does get kicked out on the first bracket round, to continue playing and continue engaging with it. I think it's just going to depend on the prizes that are in that prize pool.
No, and that's a good point too. Yeah, I have no idea. We'll see.
Now, the change that I am not looking forward to this year, we are getting a shortened version of the cup. We are going to have 9 days of the tournament instead of what used to be about 3 weeks. And how that breaks down, July 6th is going to be the kickoff. July 8th will be round 2. July 10th will be round 3. And then we'll have 3 days of play and a day of break in between each of the rounds.
So I don't know exactly how that's all going to shake out because, again, I'm not a professional. But what we can say is I kind of agree with you when it comes to, like, it's, this 3-week tournament being kind of shaved down to 9 days. I don't know what the purpose was. I know there's a lot going on for the team, like San Diego Comic-Con. Maybe they want to wrap this up before San Diego Comic-Con and then into the New York pop-up store. And this was maybe more logistical this year. And also, if it goes well.
Also, just coming off of the void as well, it might be one of those things where bandwidth is just lower. But that was one of the things I really liked about the tournament was how long it was.
It made it feel like a summer event. This is going to feel like a mini event, essentially.
Either way, I'm going to play. So
yeah, no, and we have a new team that we are both committed to. So I think there's also a lot of goodness that will come out of it. Like a new game. We're getting the new game that we talked about in prior episode of Obstacle Course Caper. No idea still what that's like, but I'm excited for that to reveal itself.
Did I see that was going to be on the mobile app specifically?
I think you did. I think it was built to be mobile compatible.
Sidebar. I did go ahead and download the Neopets companion app.
Oh my God, you did!
It has brought me quite a bit of joy. I'm not going to lie to you. Yes. I really, really like the way that they have the pet care specifically set up in the companion app. It's really fun. So.
It feels almost like, I don't want to necessarily equate it to like Tamagotchi or, Pocket Neopet. Like it feels quite like, you can take care of your pet. And then
it's
do
in
some
your
other
pocket.
things. And it's in your pocket.
Yeah. You can go to the fishing vortex.
Yes. And even for you, when you only have 2 pets, that probably feels great. I will say having close to 20 pets.
A little more time consuming for you to take care of each of them every single day.
Just a little bit. It's okay. Yeah. No, but I'm so glad you downloaded it. I'm glad that you enjoy it. It's really cool.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me to download it.
Yeah. The last thing that we can kind of discuss with the Altador Cup, because we know about it, is the challenge track, which is kind of a battle pass system that we saw with the Void Within. There's the challenge track, which is like the base level, and then you have the champions track, which is like an NC component. You can like buy a pass to get more rewards, but if you're a premium member, you have that automatically. It's free with your premium subscription.
Whoa.
Which is that is different from.
That's awesome.
And even if you just did the challenge track and you just earn those points, the rewards on the challenge track base level are pretty great. Obviously, if you want more items, champions track is always, you can always buy into that. But I would say that the base level challenge track feels worth it, even if you just play the Altador Cup and earn points for yourself.
Am I renewing premium for a month?
You might.
I might.
That's the Altador Cup.
Whoa.
So far.
I'm so excited that we're on the same team.
Yeah!
This is the moment that we have been waiting for. We have the final installment of The Void Within. We're going to be recapping. We think it's the final. See, I hesitate to call it the final installment. It's the final installment of The Void Within, but it's not the final installment for this story, as we will see.
Period.
And now that we've said that, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is not a spoiler-free zone. Your spoiler alert is officially in effect. So if you have not caught up on the epilogue yet, or if you need any details about the past plot, you can always catch up on those on our earlier podcast episodes.
Y'all, what happens in the epilogue is really rather massive and not a small spoiler, because it does set in motion what is going to come, like storytelling wise, for future events, plots, mini events. So again, only listen to this segment if you are all right with everything being revealed.
We start out the epilogue with Orion, who is conversing with himself, kind of. He's conversing with the entity that is currently possessing them, and that entity reveals that the story isn't quite over yet. And in order to uncover more secrets, they're going to need to track down an anchor. In order to keep secrets out of the wrong hands, the entity possessing Orion intentionally split his anchors and hid them around Neopia to keep them away from any living or non-living soul, including himself, which now means that we are going to have to help retrieve those bits of the anchors. Orion makes a note that the tablet that we assembled in Terra Mountain earlier in the plot was one of these anchors, and then we also are told that the next anchor is being guarded by a fierce old friend residing in the lair of the beast.
Which, quick sidebar, Sarah, did you ever experience the lair of the beast page as a child?
I did, and it actually terrified me.
100%. I just recently showed it to my partner and absolutely lost it.
With the volume on or with the volume off?
Absolutely on. It is terrifying.
It's awful.
But like it makes sense from the early 2000s because like those jump scare videos were like everywhere.
Yes.
Anyway, continue.
In order to safely retrieve the anchor, they need to upgrade Orion's lyre with the strings of the 4 waves. And then the idea is they'll play a melody with those strings for the beast. And I think the idea is it like calms the beast down long enough for you to be able to get in and get out.
Or rather, playing the melody on the lyre to tell the beast that you are not a threat. If that makes sense.
It's a communication device rather than a distraction device.
Yes.
Interesting. I like it. At this point, the possessor reveals that he specifically chose Orion as a host because Orion comes from a long family lineage of fortune tellers. Orion asks us as the players for help, and this is where we start getting into some of the more gaming aspects of this part of the epilogue. The first part of it is Orion uses his tarot cards to see some of the information that's needed, and that's one of the first mini games for us. It's kind of like a high card, low card game that you have to play and beat, I think, 3 times in order to then unlock a set of 4 riddles. So we're given 4 riddles. Each of them have 2 parts, and you have to complete each of the riddles to get the string for the lyre. Do we want to go ahead and talk about those riddles right now?
We absolutely can, yes. There are 4 riddles, and 2 of the 4 being a little bit more painful than the other 2. So half of them are a little painful. Let's start with it. Let's start with the one that is going to be that causes the most stress for people. Staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
If you are someone who lives in, or midnight, if you're in the chosen zone.
The chosen zone.
The chosen zone, European Central Time, Pacific, to obtain that string. You have to refresh the lunar temple.
Yep.
At midnight, and you have an hour. It's an hour window. I did set an alarm at 3 in the morning because I'm on East Coast time, and woke up at 3, refreshed the page, collected what I needed to, and fell back asleep.
I love that you were able to do that. Full disclosure, Keaton and I have been texting about this for this entire last week because here are my thoughts. I, as a casual player, am not going to do that. I'm not going to set an alarm to wake up at 3. For me, it would be 2 because I'm on Central Time. I'm one of those people who, like, please don't interrupt my sleep schedule. That's no fun for anybody. I feel conflicted here because I like that this challenge and one of the other challenges that we'll get to in a second are a little more difficult because it gives you guys as the super fans something really fun to do that's a little more difficult and a little more challenging, therefore making the payout a little more exciting. But man, the payout for this is really big. And it's something that I a question being put behind such a difficult wall to obtain.
And I would say that you bring up a very fair point, that the Void Within has been constructed or tried to be constructed and changed in a way throughout its length to be approachable and for casual people to, get daily collection of essences and being able to read at your own pace. And then the epilogue hits, and then there's but you have to be up at this time to just unlock and move forward and get that final piece of the epilogue. Obviously, the epilogue can be shared, and you can read it online if you need to or want to. But just knowing that you aren't able to achieve it for yourself on your account because of that barrier, I fully understand is kind of frustrating.
Especially because it feels like the entire plot was to set up this epilogue. To me personally, it doesn't feel like the epilogue is an epilogue. It feels like everything we've experienced over the last 2-3 years has been a preface or a foreword, and the epilogue is actually where the main story lies. So I'm thankful for everybody who have done the playthroughs and have posted all the details online, so players like me are able to see what happened. That's the push and pull of being a more casual player, I guess.
Yeah, no, and I don't fault you one bit. And then very briefly, the other riddles, which are a little bit more obtainable. Riddle number 2 basically sees you submitting a score of at least 1,000 points in Destructo Match 3. Riddle number 4 is a little bit more fun. You should have at least 4 unique items in your inventory with the word space in it, and then view your inventory. Riddle 3 is a little bit more attainable. It has something to do with the fishing vortex, and essentially going there and catching fish, having a successful catch. So I would assume fish, at least 3 of them, according to what the riddle says. But even for me, I was hoping a prayer the entire time, because I was I'm not going to get the epilogue before we get to recording this episode of the podcast. And lo and behold, obviously you have not been able to because of the barrier to the 2 a.m. wake-up call.
I need my sleep.
I don't blame you. Me too. I just unfortunately am a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and cuckoo for Island Berry Crunch, and we'll wake up at 3 a.m. and then pass out afterward. Once you've basically unlocked all the riddles, that actually opens up the epilogue with a full 6-page comic.
Can I say one more thing about the riddles before we move on?
Of course.
May eternal blessings flow to the people who originally find out the answers to those riddles. I don't know how you do it. They're so random.
I will fully say that I always love to think that I'll be a person that can figure it out on their own, and I very rarely am, which makes me so frustrated. But that's why I also love the Neopets community, because there are people that will discover it because they are smart and intelligent. Not that I'm not smart and intelligent, I'm just smart and intelligent in other ways. Yes, may eternal blessings flow to you. May your pillow always be cold. May your microwave meals never burn the roof of your mouth.
May all of your random events be good ones.
Yes. All right, everyone, we are now going to part 2. Part 2. Which is the moment that I have been waiting for.
It really
this plot
is.
was made for me. The plot was made for me.
It really was.
So we finished the riddles, or we don't, but at some point in time, if you finish the riddles, this unlocks the next ending, which is a 6-page comic. It starts out, y'all. Drakara survived. I knew it.
I knew it.
Yes, you did know it. We talked about it. Drakara survived. And she is retreating to a dark cave to report her defeat, because she was defeated, to her patron, who's in the shadows. But if you know, you know. However, she was harshly dismissed as a mere distraction and that this patron would basically call Drakara, you're broken just like your toys, aka your weapons of mass destruction that you build. That's the other thing. Drakara just like leaves. You're like, okay, so Drakara's dismissed, and now you're like, okay, where's Drakara going? What's going on? What's happening? The spectral beings, known as the Three, which is like lore, like Neopets lore from prior plots, mock Drakara's failure to the unknown being that's in like this bubbly water pit with like crystals around her, or them. We don't know who they are yet. They admit that they lent her their watchdog, which I assume is Vesivus, and then warn her that the lieutenants that were chosen, Vera and Ozzy, lacked the fortitude needed to reshape Neopia. I'm sorry, what? The moment we've been waiting for. The darkest fairy is revealed and is the mastermind behind it all. I told you, but I told you that. Yeah, no, the darkest fairy is revealed as the mastermind. Finally, with a new like look. Like she's clearly like been going through it. Clearly, if you know things from the other plot, so she has like. I won't say that. I don't know how to describe it other than like she's seen some things. You know, like her body is tired. She's almost like not fully formed in a way, if that makes sense. Like her hands are like a silhouette that we see. It's not even like a hand with like nails.
Is that why she's in the goo pit? Is she having to like?
I think so. She has to regenerate or something. Yeah, that's a good point. But she silences the Three because it's basically like mocking her, kind of in a way, being like that didn't work. And the darkest fairy is like, shh. And she says her true powers, the darkest fairy's true powers, lies within herself and not in weapons. That was her failure. That Drakara was basically putting all her faith in the weapons that she was creating. Which, reminder for everyone, that's the whole reason that Fiora was like, you're going to ruin Neopia. So the fact that the darkest fairy is like, actually that's the reason you failed is kind of crazy. The darkest fairy, it reveals that they are planning to rebuild Neopia in her image. Not sure what that means, but we do see a panel that showcases a contract signed by a slew of classic Neopian villains sporting ominous red eyes, unless you're the Chia clown, in which your nose turns red, which is a really cute little touch. We also see on a top panel that may or may not have signed the contract. We have like Sloth in the locket. We have the Shadow Usul, and then we also have Xandra. So are also big bad villains. And then we have all these smaller like minion villains, I guess you could say. And so she's aligning herself, aka forcing people maybe to sign a contract to do her bidding to take over Neopia. While the Three, the spectral beings, say, you know, while Neopia can be overtaken with patience and proper preparation, they sternly warn the darkest fairy to be thorough, stating they have no patience for those who fail expectations, which is actually a lovely transition moment because they are the ones, this is a spoiler, but it's like a spoiler if you don't know things from almost 20 years ago. They were the ones that like vaporized Lord Cass on the spot, the Three. So this was a nice transition moment of like, we have no patience for those that fail expectations. Split screen, we are now in the void in the comic, and we see a half-voided Lord Cass struggling with time and memory. He's been there for who knows how long, and then all of a sudden he discovers his old sword, which was actually one of the first things that was like planted back in the Advent Calendar comic years ago. Was we saw Lord Cass's sword, I'm going to butcher it, Trithdural?
Sure. I got nothing. I have nothing for the pronunciation on that.
No, it's great. Cool. So then Cass grips his weapon, his old trusted sword, and all of a sudden the purple void essences that are like surrounding him turn like an ominous red hue, almost. I mean, I'm reading this as like almost akin to the red of the eyes that were glowing from the darkest fairy, but I don't know if that would have anything to do with like if he's signed the contract years ago or if the red just is gonna mean evil, which normally it does. And then staring at the reflection in his blade, we see Meridel Castle, and Cass declares himself the Wrath of Darrigan Citadel, vowing that his enemies will tremble beneath his blade. And yeah, that's how the epilogue ends. But more to your point, that's a setup. That's a complete setup for a whole other plot, multiple plots, multiple mini events. What's going on? I don't know.
Keaton, what is the plot that Lord Cass is mostly from? So if somebody, aka me, wanted to go back and catch up on that story, they could? Or does it span multiple stories?
It's multiple stories, but specifically, if you wanted to go back and look at Battle for Meridel, that was an event that happened on the site in 2004.
Oh my gosh.
That was basically just before I even started playing. That setup will kind of give you the lore behind Cass and the Three and all of that.
So because in the epilogue, since we're seeing all of these villains resurface, do you have a recommendation for a good resource if someone wanted to go back and catch up on all of these plots?
I have to give Jelly Neo the big call out, and Hurdy with Jelly Neo and building the Book of Ages. That is probably going to be the most comprehensive breakdown of even quick story beats and moments of the past plots and events. So all to say, I'm very excited. I have no idea what this means, but I'm very excited that we have the Darkest Fairy, that we have these villains, that we have set up for new story, because we've been missing so much story. There was a moment in time before this new era for Neopets that kind of lacked this type of story building. So I'm very excited for what the future holds.
All right, everyone, we are so incredibly excited and honored to be introducing our next segment, not just because it is our first official interview of our podcast, but because this distinguished gentleman has been part of so many Neopians' lives for over 2 decades.
And now this Jubjub needs no introduction, but I will say, whether you're in the need of some code stones for training, some high rarity items for the annual fairy festival, or just wanting some extra assistance in pricing your own shop, there is one man who's always up for the job. Please allow us to introduce to you, all the way from Neopia Central, the Shop Wizard Jubjub. Yay!
Hello! Hello, Neopians! Hello, Keaton! Hello, Sarah! How are we today?
Oh, I am dandy as can be, knowing that you are here.
You flatter me, of course. Any day of the week, any time of day, I'll be here for you.
I've never had the honor of introducing or talking to anyone from the Neopian world, so this is crazy.
Well, here we are. I guess we're bridging the gap, aren't we?
Yes. We've put together a short list of questions for you, if you do not mind.
Not at all. I'd be happy to answer them, yes.
Okay, brilliant. Wait, first off, Mr. Shop Wizard Jubjub.
Yes.
Should I call you Mr. Shop Wizard?
Well,
Jubjub?
Mr. Shop Wizard was actually my father. You can call me Shop Wizard.
I'm sorry, Shop Wizard. Okay,
Yes.
Shop Wizard. As Neopians, we have all experienced it. You get tired every now and then.
Yeah.
And that's completely allowed. We all get
I
tired.
help a lot of people, a lot of Neopians, all the time.
Yeah. And so my question for you is, when you take that break and that breather, what are you doing? What's your favorite way to relax?
Very good question. I'm usually recording content for viewers like you. Enjoying my 247th playthrough of The Darkest Fairy, that's a good one. And relaxing with my little slog companion, Shimmer, when he's not being a terror.
Speaking of Shimmer, how did you guys end up becoming best friends?
Oh, what a great question. I love telling this story. So, I was going to take out the rubbish one day and heard a faint cooing coming from the shrubbery next to my hut. That's when he appeared, slimy, slippery, and a shimmer like no other. It was then I asked, "Do you have a home?" When he shook his little slug head twice, I knew it was fate that brought us together. The rest is history.
That is incredible. Well, we thank you for your service for rescuing pets who are in need.
Oh, of course. I mean, I love my little shimmer slog, pet buddy, but I must say, he does drive me a little crazy sometimes.
He does get in a little bit of trouble.
Yes. Yes, like stealing my Neopoints credit card and buying whatever he wants online.
No! Wait, you have
Yes.
a Neopets credit card? I'm jealous.
Well, I do, yes. It's a bit exclusive. I'll tell you about it after.
Sounds great. Oh,
That's
what
so
was
good.
that? Frog.
I don't know.
Sounds
It's
great.
a new character.
Are you saying that I'm a character?
I mean,
Yes.
you can be. Giving Kachik energy.
Sarah, did you say yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
My next question for you that we have. Do you have any insight into the quote ancient laws that prevent you from helping us Neopians out during a fairy quest?
I get asked this very often, and well, you see, it's all too complicated to wrap one's brain around. You see, to start, we have to go back. Way back. I'm talking back in the days my great granny Shop Witch was around. How I miss my great granny Shop Witch. She really knew her way around Neopia Central. And she made a mean banana Jubjub muffin. Oh, and how could I forget? She had the cutest little angel puss named Barbara. Anywho, what was the question again?
You know what? Don't worry about it.
All right.
Mr. Shop Wizard,
Yeah.
I am newer to coming back to the world of Neopia, so there's still a lot of things that I'm learning about the people who live there and such, and I use your services pretty frequently, but I'm curious to know how exactly you are able to search the marketplaces so quickly. Do you have magical powers and abilities that just lets you telepathically see into all of the shops simultaneously? Is there a tool that you use? How are you keeping track of all of our stocks?
Have a look here. This is my special crystal ball that I look into to see the cheapest prices in all of the shops for you. Yeah.
All of that power in that small little sphere?
It's pretty incredible, isn't it? I mean,
It
the
is.
cameras, we have to get close to it to make it look bigger, but it's an illusion right now. If I get closer to the camera, I look bigger, and that's further away. So, watch this. Ah, magical.
You're such a magical being. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's some good
Oh,
insight for me. I
of course.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for the question. My Happy Meal, Jubjub.
Oh my God, you're so
Jubby.
right.
Yeah,
Jubby.
I just thought it was your son.
I mean, he's sort of like my son.
That's adorable.
Oh, you saw that? Okay, make sure that doesn't get put in the thing at the end, all right?
I can't
Make
make
sure
any
we take that
promises.
out.
You're such a loving person. Jubjub. You're not a person. Jubjub.
I mean, Jubjubs are people too.
You're right. Sorry.
Yeah. What the heck?
What the heck? All right, another quick question for you. Oh my God, speaking of Jubjubs. So as a Jubjub,
Yeah.
you are roughly 90% hair and 10% feet. I didn't ask anyone. I'm just making that assumption. How do you keep your coat so pristine?
I guess it's finally coming to light. Baba milk.
Baba
Yes.
milk.
As simple as that.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
No, not a very common item found in the marketplace, if at all. So yeah, Baba milk is the trick. Also, I will say this. You can never have a bad hair day or fur day when you wear a hat.
I couldn't agree more.
Absolutely.
And so are you applying that Baba milk just straight up? Is there any kind of processing that it's going through?
Well, it's sort of just filtered Baba milk, and we put it into a bath, and you sort of just sit in the bath, and it really does wonders for the fur.
Oh my God, Shop Wizard, you take baths?
I mean, do you?
Yes, I do every Sunday.
Of course.
Another question for you. If you could swap positions with any other famous Neopian for a week, who would it be and why?
Well, funny you ask. King Altador, no question about it. He's a king, to start off. He has arms. He gets to be in the darkest fairy video game, unlike me. And he retains the blonde beauty in which you mentioned earlier. That I have, that is. We're both blonde, that's my point.
That's a lot of responsibility, though. Like, I know that you have a lot of responsibility.
I mean, we're both responsible dudes, so I'd say, it's an even trade.
That's fair.
Yeah, I would say I would love to see you in King Altador's position, and honestly, even would love to see King Altador in your position.
Oh, I'd love to see him try on this cape and hat. It's not easy getting fitted as a Jubjub.
And like you said, you would have arms. That would be like a whole other ball game with that.
I could pick things up without my feet, for once. Not that there's anything wrong with picking things up with your feet.
No.
I love being a Jubjub. Just
Impressive.
to clarify.
It's impressive. It's impressive. Also, you do have magical abilities that you probably can move things telekinetically. Is that how that works, maybe?
I may or may not pick things up with telekinesis.
Okay. Inside scoop, everyone.
Shop Wizard. Keaton and I are very excited this year because we are both going to be joining the new Altador Cup team, Neopia Central. We were wondering if you had any certain team you were planning on rooting for this year.
Well, who do you think? Neopia Central! Yeah! That's my team! First year in the cup, baby! Oh! Sorry, I got a little excited there.
Oh, don't apologize. We're both absolutely ecstatic right there with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty exciting stuff. Neopian history in the making, I tell you.
Shop Wizard, thank you so much for being a part of this episode of Sidebar and Neopets Podcast.
My pleasure. I had such fun with you two, and I do hope to see you again sometime.
Oh, absolutely. You, me, and King Roo have to plan another game night.
Oh, please. I'd be more than happy to. And Sarah, you can join us too next time as well.
Finally got the invite. Let's go. Thank you so much, Mr. Shop Wizard.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good job.
And that's going to do it for this episode.
Our next episode will include a very special interview with the mind behind the Shop Wizard Jubjub, Frank Cesario.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Sidebar. If you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe and share the show with a Neo friend.
You can follow the show on Instagram at Sidebar the Pod. You can follow me at Keaton Jadwin. You can also watch the video edition of this podcast over on YouTube at Sidebar the Pod. And until next time,
Don't forget to do your dailies.